Welcome to Childhood Trash, a dumpster dive into our childhood nostalgia, where we re-examine some of the most influential media from our youth in order to answer the question, tragic or nostalgic. I'm your host, Maggie Keating, joined by my co-host,
Pia LaPlaca.
Hello, Pia.
Hey, Maggie. Your voice is very low today.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm coming off of a sickness.
You're
Maybe.
giving like the... Have you seen Friends?
No.
Oh. When Phoebe's sick, she's like, this is my sexy voice.
This is my sick
Yeah.
voice. Hello. Yeah. I'm coming off of a cough, but it's okay.
Yeah, we'll cut out all the coughs.
My whooping cough. That's what I like to call it. But
You
today
like
we're
that.
doing something really exciting.
As always.
As always. I mean, every episode is exciting. But today we're doing Race to Witch Mountain.
Yeah, this is a funny little movie.
A classic.
A classic. I think one thing we've talked about, I don't know if we've talked about on the pod, but we want to cover like kind of the things that everyone knows and then also these kind of things that like you might have forgotten about. And I feel like Race to Witch Mountain is like one of those movies
The one that
you
we
kind of
forgot
forgot about.
Yeah.
And-
I remembered almost nothing.
Oh my
from
god,
this
same.
movie.
I was like, there's aliens. I just totally forgot.
I didn't know what was going on.
I could not tell you a single plot point before I rewatched this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun time though.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, yeah,
It kind of hit.
it kind of hit.
Yeah.
I was excited about this movie. So,
Should we want to
get
jump into the facts?
right into the facts, I think.
We have lots of facts.
I think we do.
So this was adapted from the book called Escape to Witch Mountain by Alexander Key. Now, you may or may not know that there was a movie of the same name, Escape to Witch Mountain,
There's a
that came out
bunch.
in 1975. And yeah, there were, I guess, how does math work? There were 3 sequels
Yeah.
to that movie in the 70s. And then this is the 5th and final installment in the Witch Mountain franchise.
Indeed. But they don't seem to, like, connect. Like, it seems like this movie
one?
can stand alone.
This one does, yeah. To quote, or not to quote, to kind of indirectly paraphrase quote the director, he said he wouldn't describe it as a remake, but a new chapter for the world.
Yes. We are in a new chapter.
We are in a new chapter. We are turning over a new leaf. Because
And-
it does have some like nods to the original one.
Okay, I believe that. I have not seen the originals.
So, 2 actors in Race to Witch Mountain were the 2 like kid aliens, I believe. Actually, I haven't seen the original, so I don't know if they're aliens, but they were the 2 kids in Escape to Witch Mountain.
Cool, so they made, like, cameos?
Yeah, so that was the waitress.
We love the waitress!
I love the waitress. She was the little girl.
Oh my
and
god.
then
that makes sense.
I think like not the sheriff, but some other like officer guy.
Who's
is
like
the-
a sleigh.
Yeah, his name
Yeah.
is Tony.
Okay.
Well, their names were Tony and Tia, and their character names in the remake, quote unquote, were Tina and Anthony, which ironically are my parents' names. But anyway,
That's really funny.
Yeah.
What a coincidence. Oh my god. Anyway, this movie was directed by Andy Fickman, and I like this note of game plan fame. And then
Yes.
this note is even better. Written by Matt Lopez and rewritten by Mark Bomback of Insurgent, the flop of a movie fame, which is very true.
It's true.
I
I
actually
only-
despise that movie.
these are
and-
the facts.
And Allegiant also sucks.
Yeah,
But the first Divergent movie,
Sly. It's
Art.
a masterpiece, truly.
when she's flying through the city and she looks like, and she sees herself in the reflection of the building.
No.
So good.
You already know I'm back in like my teen dystopian era after just watching the Hunger Games. I just like I love it so much
It's
right
so
now.
good. Why are we covering it?
Because we couldn't remember it.
We couldn't remember. Also, I had like a serious desire to watch those movies when I was a kid, and for some reason, my parents like
Have
would
you ever
not,
seen them? The original
no,
ones?
not the original ones, but I saw this one at some point along
Yeah.
the way. But my parents wouldn't let me for some reason. They thought it was too scary.
That's interesting.
Which-
well, maybe they
why?
are. Maybe the older ones are.
Maybe they are, which is why, like, because it came out in the 70s, so my parents were kids when they came out, so they must have seen them.
Yeah. And like there's a lot of like interesting things that I don't know like a lot about, but I know like that like ratings like PG and stuff like that like didn't exist for the longest time.
That's so real.
So,
Jaws
like-
being rated PG-13 is hilarious.
So, yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been one of those things. Like, maybe it is, like, more, like, violent. But I would be interested to watch it at some point. Like, there's some, like, classic movies that I've only seen, like, the Disney remakes of that I never realized had, like, The Parent Trap.
Wait, what?
The Parent Trap.
There's an original Parent
There's
Trap?
an original Parent Trap and a sequel that both came out in, oh, God, like, the 60s, maybe?
What?
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
That's...
So the Lindsay Lohan one is the remake, and then the musical one is the remake of the remake.
Oh, my God. I'm learning so much right now that Disney had, like, a fascination.
Disney has one idea, and then they keep going.
They have, like, a fascination with making adapted movies from books. Like,
Well,
I really
think
thought...
that's just most movies,
Yes,
though.
but I really thought that Disney... These were all originals. And
well, because they're
not.
called Disney Channel original movies. So I
and
think
it's
they
a flop.
bamboozle
It's
us
a lie.
little bit. This
True.
one came out in theaters.
Yeah. Yes.
So this wasn't a decom.
Yeah.
Which is why it's probably had a bigger budget and
I
stuff.
think it did. But
So where do we start? Where do we begin?
where do we even begin? I would like to begin with the opening credits, which had me thinking
Would you?
that okay. The opening credits of this movie
yes!
had me thinking that this was going to be in the 80s for some reason because there were lots
Ronald
of flash.
Reagan.
Reagan! Why is Reagan there?
And then also Bush.
Yeah.
Made a slick
Oh,
little
did he? I
appearance.
must have missed Bush.
No, I was too
That
excited
makes
about
sense.
Reagan as well. I was like, what is he doing here?
I was like,
In
fuck
this
Reagan.
children's
Why is
movie.
Reagan here? But
Yeah.
it was so funny. And so
It's
I
like
thought
propaganda in the beginning.
yeah, it seemed like I was getting like, ooh, like conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
like Ronald Reagan is the devil. I was like, yeah, fuck Reagan, like,
Yeah.
ooh. But then it was like in like 2011 or like 2006 when this came out. 2009.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't write it down.
They
I
had
think it's
cell
2009.
phones, so I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
not the 80s.
Well, I think that like opening credits amps it up to the this expectation of the people and the culture surrounding like
Yes.
the people who believe in UFOs.
and that
Which
Reagan
like they're
is to blame.
first of all, like they're real, right?
UFOs.
Yeah, do you believe they're
I
real?
fully believe in aliens.
Okay, slide.
Okay.
Just same
Just
base.
making sure.
But yeah, I
Is
think
this going to be another one of those things where we're like, so was this a real story?
based on true events. I hope this was a real story. I would love that so much.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that
But
was
this
my
was
thing.
written by
Okay.
a man. I don't believe it was a real story, to
Okay,
be honest.
that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, no, I think that's what it was trying
Yeah,
to do.
it definitely
But
did.
it made no sense. But anyway, so UFOs are manifesting themselves into people. Like, what does it even mean? Like, a UFO is just an unidentified
foreign. Is it foreign or flying?
I thought they were literally saying the spaceships are becoming people. I was like, that makes no sense.
I'm like, okay.
But yeah, I don't know what that meant, and
I don't know either.
was confused.
The credits had me hyped for the movie, though. So
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they were good. And then we land in Nevada, Las Vegas.
Well, the alien spaceship lands
right.
like outside of Vegas. I think it's like 80 miles outside of Vegas,
Yes.
in some town that I did not write down because it's irrelevant.
Yes.
But Las Vegas is the setting of this movie. Why?
I don't know.
I didn't feel like it really.
mattered.
I couldn't tell until like halfway through the movie that it was set in Las Vegas.
Right. I think
I thought it was
also-
New York at first.
Is Witch Mountain real?
What do you mean, Witch Mountain? Like the conspiracy?
No,
are we
like the
conspiracy
place.
theorizing
Like, is
right
there
now?
actually a rock called Witch Mountain that looks like that? Because
know.
because
I mean,
there is
probably
that thing
not.
that's like Devil's
cave?
Peak.
Peak.
I have no idea.
I'm
It's like this
making
big rock, and it's like that's where all the aliens go, and that's where you can find aliens.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
ever heard of that?
But Witch Mountain is the like base where they have their camp,
Yeah.
like the government camp.
Is Witch Mountain?
I don't think it's real, but I think it's based on like a real idea.
Yes, I think it's based on a real idea, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's real.
Because also, like, why is it called Witch Mountain? Like, this has nothing to do with witches.
I don't know. Does it look like a witch? No.
Maybe it looks like a witch's pointy hat.
Maybe. It's kind of flat though. It's kind of like a rectangle.
Yeah, I'm grasping at straws here.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's called that.
Anyway.
I also didn't know what it was for a long time. I was like, it's a real mountain, and I was like, I mean, like,
What is this thing I'm thinking
Not
of called? Devil's. I swear to God, I'm gonna show you this. Devil's
I believe in you.
Tower. Devil's Tower. I think this is what it's based off of. Because this is like a whole thing where people are like, oh my God.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
aliens go there and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think
then
it's
why
in
would they
Utah.
have their government base there? If they anyway.
I don't know. There's probably an explanation in the book.
We're not reading it.
We have too many books on the book club list.
Too many books to read for this little book club.
Yeah.
So, in Las Vegas, there's this sci-fi nerd convention, the UFO Believers Gang, going on at Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood, like the game.
I thought Planet Hollywood... Oh, no, that's Planet Pizza. I was going to say, I thought Planet Hollywood was a pizza place, but no, I'm wrong.
We're off to a great start.
We haven't even started
even
talking.
better start to this movie, Fly on the Wall by Miley Cyrus. I screamed.
That is all caps in my notes.
Me too. I was so excited.
I was ecstatic because
I love that song.
Not only do I love the song, but I was like, what if where was Miley Cyrus? Like Miley Cyrus was doing Fly on the Wall at this moment. Like the fact that those exist at the same time,
it's
really blew my mind. And I was like, what if she was in this movie?
That would be great.
Like imagine if she was Sarah.
Miley Cyrus is like canon in Race to Witch Mountain.
True. They have Miley Cyrus in that universe.
That's true.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
It was everything, and you see it, and I guess it's like that's how we're introduced to Las Vegas. Is like the
Fly on the Wall city.
Yeah, because it's like a whole like.
I bet that's what Miley Cyrus thought when she was writing that song.
She was like,
man, Las Vegas. I'm 16. I love those slot machines.
Winning.
Why would you set this in Las Vegas? It was giving like that Percy Jackson.
Lotus,
not the White Lotus,
not the White Lotus,
the Lotus,
the
whatever.
Lotus Eaters thing.
Yeah,
that was great.
That's
I
what
love
it felt
that
like
so much. But so they like find this UFO, right?
Yeah.
And they're like poking at it, and they're like, "Guys, this is crazy!" And they have all these hazmat suits on, and I wrote down that it was giving me Stranger Things vibes.
Oh, true.
With the like lights. In
I
the mask.
I like their hazmat suits.
Yeah, they were really stylish.
They're really cute, actually. Like low key.
Yeah.
So, in other news, we meet our main character, Jack Bruno.
Jack Bruno.
Fucking slay of a name.
Slay of a name, and he hates his life.
He hates his life.
So
He's
much.
a cab driver.
Yeah.
These two fucking drunk stormtroopers just like go into the back of his cab and like stir shit up.
That is like part of the reason why it's in Las Vegas, because the characters that you can have in Las Vegas are so interesting.
But I feel like it was underutilized if they were trying to do that.
That's
because
true.
What they had a cab driver, they had a failed astrophysicist who was in every sci-fi movie.
I mean, they had that
and then
freak
they had
convention.
aliens.
The freak convention.
But the freak convention could be anywhere.
I guess.
They've got freaks anywhere.
They've got freaks everywhere. Welcome to Emerson College.
But anyways, so there has been a chlorine spill. Did you see this?
No.
Did you hear there's been a chlorine spill in this movie? What does that mean?
I think I missed that.
Because it's like, how toxic is chlorine?
Very.
Really? Why is it in pools?
Well, it's something else. It's like not, because it gets diluted, but like especially in gas form. Bad.
Oh.
So one time, completely off topic, my mom and I were cleaning the bathroom, and like we have like hot tub jets in our tub.
Ooh, fancy.
It's actually really disgusting. But so because we had to clean it, and so we're cleaning it, and she like throws in some bleach into the tub after we've already used like regular like other cleaning stuff, and whatever it was, I was like, "Mom, you just made chlorine gas." Like she made chlorine gas,
no.
and I was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" Had to evacuate the house.
You like buried the lead on that one. Okay, so it's a lot worse than I thought.
No, chlorine is bad. Yeah,
that's actually good to know, because
Yeah.
I was like, how bad?
no,
is it?
don't mix bleach with anything. Basically,
I wasn't.
don't ever do that.
Okay. Cool.
Word to the wise. Maggie PSA.
Moving on. Who shows up in the back of Jack Bruno's cab next?
Well, none other than Dr.
Oh, I forgot about that. She goes in his cab.
Oh, yeah. Okay, are we starting with the stormtroopers?
I said the stormtroopers. You can go to the doctor.
Let's go to the doctor.
I kind of forgot about her.
Dr. Alex Friedman. This is where we meet her, and then we forget about her for like an hour.
We forgot about her for a solid 2 acts.
Yeah. And she it's basically just this like smarty pants.
She's basically Natalie Portman's character in Thor.
Yes. That's a great way to describe it. But she's talking at this convention for people who believe in aliens.
But she's like the only science-y actual person there, and everyone else is like sci-fi.
And they just think she's been possessed by aliens and all this kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, they want the tea. You know what I mean?
They do want the tea.
Their whole thing was like, so have you been abducted by aliens? She's like, no, I'm just trying to like investigate.
Yeah.
Boring. Like, I genuinely forgot for like half the movie that she existed, and I was like, oh yeah, she's like on the poster too.
Yeah,
like
she is.
they made us think that she was a big part of this movie.
She's the mom from Spy Kids.
I know
she's
she is. She is great.
I love her.
But she has no role in this movie, really.
Hardly any at all.
Like, they actually like don't need her low key.
Yeah.
Jack Bruno.
So it's really funny. Like, after his terrible day, he's like back at his motel punching a punching bag that he has in a motel room. It seemed like he was living in a motel. Did you get that vibe?
I thought he was just I don't know. I thought he was just like single guy.
Okay.
Like, doesn't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I love, as we get into it, I love this trope though. I love the main trope of this movie, which is like tough guy has to take care of
kids
and become a dad.
Yes.
Like, have you seen The Professional?
No.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite movies.
But like The Mandalorian or like The Last of Us, both Pedro Pascal characters in which he's a grumpy old man that has to take care of a child.
Yeah.
Like,
or Game Plan.
Like, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I love it
No, I love
much.
it
Or
so much.
There's a new Adam Driver movie that just came out where he's like a grumpy old guy and has to take care of a kid.
I love that.
I love it so much.
Fucking Despicable Me.
Like, it's a great trope.
It's such a great
always
genre.
works. It always works. But
So, who shows up next in this guy's cab, Jack Bruno's cab, but none other than two blonde weirdos.
two blonde weirdos, may I add, that are actually great actors that I love now.
What is the guy doing? I mean, one is Anna Sophia Robb.
Just watched The Hunger Games. I can't believe you didn't notice.
Oh, he's Kato!
He's Kato in The Hunger Games.
He looked familiar.
Yeah. He slayed Kato in The Hunger Games. I had a theory when I was watching this movie. So, I had this theory, and it was that they crash landed on Earth, whatever, but they're going back to Earth and or back to their planet. The other planet, that's the Hunger Games planet. And Kato is there to do the Hunger Games. He is actually Kato.
I love this theory so much.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it. The other planet is the Hunger Games planet where he is going to die get killed by Katniss.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. That was my theory.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's so funny. I only saw, like, when I looked this up, like, the cast, I only saw, like, a picture of him, like, now.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's one of those people that, like, looks like their, like, face, like, their facial features, like, got, like, shrunk, and their head stayed the same size. You know what I mean? Or, like, their head got bigger, but their facial features didn't.
I think he's just, like, a block of muscle now.
Oh,
I
that's
think
like
it's just
a
like a block of muscle.
Yeah.
But the kids, like, talk like freaks.
I love them. I love
so
how they
funny.
talk. It's so funny.
They're very robotic. It's kind of cool. And this is where the iconic meme is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What does it originally say?
I actually don't know.
Okay, I thought you would have. Okay, I don't know.
But
not
it's just like a
meme lord,
template.
You know
like
what I mean?
It's if you didn't know, I make the memes.
Yeah.
But it's just like a meme template where it's like The Rock turning around and these two like kids in the backseat.
They're just
I don't
being
know.
weird, yeah.
And it's from this movie, which is so great.
They like robbed an ATM, got hella cash. They got $15,000.
Yes.
But the feds are on to them because they have footage of them robbing the ATM and also like getting into a cab, and they have a theory that the UFOs have become humanoid, I guess.
Yes.
And basically, they offer up this, like, bundle of cash to Mr. The Rock. And they're like, take us to these coordinates. And he's like, what?
But he'll do it for the money because it's like a huge amount of money. So they're in the car, driving in the middle of the desert on the way to coordinates.
Yeah.
Destination.
The destination.
And he turns into he literally turns into Baby Driver in this car.
I haven't seen Baby Driver.
So good. But it's kind of like sad now because Ansel Elgort is a freak.
I was gonna say that, but I wasn't gonna go there.
Ansel Elgort and Kevin Spacey. Ooh,
double whammy.
Yikes.
Anyway.
But turns into Baby Driver and he's like doing all these like because not the feds. Is it the feds or is it?
They're all the feds. Are they not all the feds?
I don't think they're all the feds because
there's so many chase
there's
scenes.
the feds and then there's also Wolf, who's this bad guy.
Who's Wolf?
It's like the other guy. the bad guy that, like, he gets caught up with in the beginning.
Oh, the guy from the mob?
The mob. Yes, he was involved in the mob. That's it.
I didn't follow that plot line.
I didn't follow that plot
sense
line.
to me.
I didn't really either. But
I was
think
just
it's
like,
the
there's
feds.
too many bad guys in this movie.
Yeah.
That there are all chasing them.
And there was, I think, 3 different bad guys in this movie.
Yeah.
Each with different motivations.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So while they're getting, like...
Pursued.
Beautiful word.
Yeah.
Pursued. Mm-hmm. Jack Bruno. He's like, guys, like, don't worry about it. Because they're like, you're literally, like, being followed. Like, you're being tailed. Like, they're going to get after you. And he's like, don't worry about it. Like, guys, like, I'm the king of these roads. Gets right hit by a car. Like, just, like, says that
Wham.
immediately, wham.
Yeah.
And so begins our discovery into these kiddos' powers.
Yes. And so we learn that Seth, who's the boy, he has, like, he's, like, invincible.
I learned what it is.
What is it?
It is, listen to this one.
Okay.
Molecular density.
So he's, like, dense as fuck.
Which, like, same as Kato. Like,
real! Oh my god. I'm telling you.
I think
I'm
it's
telling
just,
you.
No, he has the power of molecular density, meaning he can change, like,
Yeah.
his density.
Yeah. So that, like, he's, like, stronger than the other thing.
Or, like, how he sinks into things.
Okay, yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That does make sense. And then the girl, Sarah,
Yeah.
she has telekinesis, is that what
And
it's called?
telepathy.
And telepathy. So she can, like, make things move with her mind.
And
which is
also
cool.
read minds.
Yes. I love her. She's such a cutie.
She's adorable. She was hired for this movie because of Bridge to Terabithia. Because
Seriously?
the director saw Bridge to Terabithia and he was like, Anna Sophia Robb.
God, I love Bridge to Terabithia.
I know.
God.
We're watching it next season.
We are, and
Spoiler.
I cried like a baby when I first saw that movie.
I'm like looking forward to it, but also not.
Yeah.
The guy, oh my god, the villain, this villain, what did you say his name was, like Monkey or some shit?
Monkey?
Wolf?
Wolf. I
Same
wolf
thing.
you. Have you seen You, the TV show?
I've seen like the first 5 episodes.
Okay, then that didn't make any sense.
No, but it was
and we
just
need
so
to edit that
weird
out.
and funny. Anyway, Wolf, he has one of my favorite lines, which I wrote down, which is, you're in way over your head.
Hey, you're in way over your head. I love when they say that. I also
love
just
that.
saw a quote that you have written down that I also have written down.
Oh, no.
So that's great.
I have a
But
lot of quotes for this one because this one,
It's
the
so
script
iconic.
kind of killed.
It killed me a lot.
Yeah.
I was laughing. But okay, so they escape the feds and they arrive at their destination, which to me looked like Thanos'
shack.
cabin in Endgame. You know, in like the beginning when he's like being like cottagecore Thanos.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, he's like moved on.
I've seen that movie like 3 times and I don't remember
Really,
that.
in the beginning, he's just like chilling in the middle of nowhere, and then they go and kill him.
Oh. I thought it was like, have you seen Where the Crawdads Sing?
Yes, unfortunately.
I thought it was like her, oh, so true.
Yeah.
I thought it was like her little shack.
Yeah.
Kind of shack.
Yeah.
It gave Shack vibes.
It was Shaq.
It was Shack.
Shaquille O'Neal.
What is going
This
on?
episode is insane. Okay, so they're there, and then the kids get out of the car. They hand him like a insane wad of cash, and they go into this shack. And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave." And then he counts the cash, and he's like, "Whoa, you way overpaid." And then he's like, "Okay, these are kids. I'm gonna go save them because I am a grumpy old man, and this is my job."
Yeah, and he's like sus. Like, there's no one home. Like, this is like a rundown, beat up place. He's like, you know, dad vibes. He's becoming a dad.
Yeah, he's being a dad. It's
So
great.
he follows them in, and like they go through these like secret passageways in this, right?
Yes, the fridge. And he goes, "Don't go in the pimped out fridge, Jack. Don't go in the pimped out fridge." Oh my god. Like, what? Who wrote that?
I don't know, but I love it. I love it a lot. I love that it's like everything about that is actually just the best thing.
It's so funny.
So they go in, and there's like this whole other like
Underground
world, low key.
It's like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
It is.
I love that movie.
I also would alternately title this movie The Cab at the End of the World. So they are looking for this like device. It's a really important device that they need to get to like essentially save their home planet.
Yes, and they tell Jack Bruno that later. Right now they're being all mysterious and like weird about it.
Yeah, but like we can tell you now.
For purpose of the podcast, we'll reveal it. So basically, their planet is dying of what sounded like climate change.
Sure.
Like the atmosphere was becoming unbreathable, and this device would like reoxygenate their poisoned atmosphere, is what I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
And so this seemed like a really good idea from them, for them. Important people on their planet wanted to just invade Earth and like live on Earth instead.
Yep.
Of like trying to fix their planet. So they thought that if they came by themselves to take this device and just do the saving of their planet, then they wouldn't have to invade Earth.
Yeah, and their parents were supposed to come.
Yes.
But their parents got arrested or something.
Yeah, I think they got arrested.
So that was their little origin story.
Yes, and they pull this device like
Kind of a gross, gooey little thing.
it's a booger is what I wrote.
Oh, yeah,
It looked like a booger.
Kind of a booger.
It was actually really disgusting.
I just said ooey.
But Jack learns that like the kids aren't the only ones after this device. They're also being pursued by this like assassin who's trained to kill them named Siphon.
Is it named Siphon or is it a siphon? I thought
That's a great
Siphon was
question.
just like the type of alien assassin.
That's actually a great question. I have no idea.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Took me so long to figure out how to spell siphon. I was spelled with a P.
I watched with the captions on.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
I should do that since I don't know how to spell. But anyway.
And so Siphon shows up at this house and is like blowing shit up everywhere and like
Yeah. And he follows them
Yes.
into the woods.
Into the woods, out of the woods, and home before dark.
But they escape.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. They make it out with the gadget. They're out of there.
Literally don't listen to me.
Okay.
I read ahead in my notes and I got excited.
So they're making this huge escape, and like Siphon's chasing them in Siphon's plane, UFO.
Sure.
Yeah. And
Spaceship.
Ship. That's a good one. And they escape because they lure him into a train tunnel, and then a train hits his ship, and then they're like out of there. But the cab is fucked. The cab needs to get prepared.
The cab is out of it.
Repaired. So they take the cab to
Eddie.
I
love him. He was also in Spy Kids.
Was he? Who was he?
Like, he played very much the same character. Just like, let me lend a hand, like,
Okay.
kind of guy.
All right.
Yeah, he might have been, like, the uncle or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
But don't quote me on that.
I don't know. Wait, isn't the uncle Manny Trejo?
Then he's not the uncle. Then he's just a helping hand.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's definitely in that movie.
Okay, I believe you.
I want to know... Oh, I don't think this is right, but I want to know that they have some crossover in, like, the Spy Kids.
Spy
Race to
Kids
Witch
universe?
Mountain. Well, because they have two actors that are in the movie.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know. There must be some, yeah. But, so they go get the car fixed, and then they go to a bar to wait for the car to get fixed. And he's like, you have an hour to do all this stuff, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But-
And he brings these kids in looking, like, dusty, rusty, and crusty. And, like, they are, like, I would be so worried if I was, like, one of these people. I'd be like, are these your kids?
Are
like,
you good?
Like, I was so scared.
And the waitress is like that. She's like, let's go get cleaned up.
Yeah.
The waitress who comes over to talk to them, who is the original kid from the
original
movie.
girl, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we learn here that they need to get their spaceship back.
Yes. Question mark.
Because it's been yoinked by the
feds.
U.S. government.
Yep.
And I also wanted to mention here that Jack is so Ophelia.
Well,
Like,
not
is
Hamlet.
he, like, oh, no, not Hamlet.
I was like, please, no Shakespeare.
I could have
Ophelia
done
from
that.
what?
Ophelia, like, so I drive a taxi and the traffic distracts me from the strangers in my backseat that remind me of you.
Like, Ophelia.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Would you agree?
That's great. I love that.
And then they get a dog.
They get the dog. Okay, so basically, we're jumping ahead of ourselves
I'm
here.
sorry.
The diner, so the cab apparently has a tracking device in it, and the feds are able to locate the kids and Jack through this tracking device. So they pull up to the diner, and
There's a whole, like, standoff.
There's a whole
kind of-
standoff, but the waitress lets the kids and Jack out the back, which is
And they escape.
Great, and they make their escape. And then they decide that they need more help than Jack can give them. So they go back to meet
Science lady.
science lady Alex Friedman.
So they go to the UFO convention. When did they get the dog?
I think they get the dog.
Because I have it in my notes after the waitress. I don't know how they get the dog, to be honest with you.
Dog feuding with Jack. What? Well, they get the dog in a junkyard, which is why they name him Junkyard, but where is the junkyard?
Is it Eddie's junkyard? Does Eddie have a junkyard?
Perhaps.
So anyway, they get a dog and they name it Junkyard, and it's cute because we love an animal sidekick.
And he's the best ever, and the dog is like in the car with them, and the girl can read the dog's mind, and she's like,
he would like a meaty treat.
He would like a meaty treat, and he needs to get out to pee, and he's like, well, no, he should have thought of that before we left. And then Jack's like, fine, so he lets him out, and then he's like, I'm having a conversation with a dog. I can't believe this. It's so cute. I love it.
It's very cute.
I love that part.
It's giving up.
Aww.
Aww.
But they finally go and they meet Alex Friedman, and they basically show her that they are from a planet 3,000 light years away from Earth, and they use wormholes to travel, and they explain everything, that their planet is dying and they need help and whatever. And
Yeah. I feel like it would be more fun if she didn't need to be convinced. I think that would make more sense. Because, like, literally this is what she studies.
Yeah.
Like, it just, like, landed in her lap. Like,
Yeah.
why does she not believe it?
I don't know. That's crazy. That's great.
Kinda nuts.
I don't know.
But she can't really do anything.
She needs help from somebody else to
so
guide
she
them.
goes to the, like, sci-fi writer guy.
Yes.
What's his name?
Harlan.
Harlan.
Is his last name?
Played by Gary frickin' Marshall. Love of my life.
Right.
Sorry.
And Gary Marshall Harlan. Basically,
Gary Marshall Harlan?
Yes,
His
Gary
full name.
Marshall Harlan. So he has like all of these like he's on basically on like Reddit for like
so true.
alien lovers, and they all email each other whenever there's like a alien conspiracy coming on. So he has all the deets on the kids landing and the UFO being found.
And he also like has a like little back door into like the government's like system.
Exactly.
And can find out and does find out where the spaceship is being held.
Yes. So
and it's in dun 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 Witch Mountain,
which is where they're headed next. So he provides them with like a blueprint and some other stuff.
Some maps and shit.
Just to send them on their way to Witch Mountain.
GPS, you know.
And off they go. For some reason, they go back into the convention center.
This movie is so confusing. There's just so much.
This movie made sense when I was watching it, but like
it didn't make sense when I literally you were bringing up stuff I did not even notice. I'm gonna be so honest.
So funny.
There's multiple bad guys.
There are so
anyway.
Wolf, so they go back into the convention. They have to go back into the convention center because Alex needs to get her stuff, and I don't know. It's like a whole thing. So they're in the alien convention center, and then all of the fucking bad guys show up at once.
Oh, I thought they showed up at Witch Mountain.
No. Oh. It happens like multiple times that they all show up at once.
That's so tiring.
It is really tiring,
my God.
honestly.
They keep getting caught. Can we just skip?
There's a lot of action.
Can we skip? They keep getting caught, and then they keep getting out, and then they keep getting caught, and they keep escaping.
Okay, yeah, we can skip. They escape in an RV, and Harlan is like, he does like a cab dupe. He takes the cab and leads everybody away from the convention center so they can escape.
True.
With the dog, which is cute. But they're at Witch Mountain. Woohoo! Yay. And the FBI people catch up to them. They're like halfway up the mountain.
They're like already there, and so they like capture them right when they get there. And they take Seth and Sarah to be prepared for vivisection.
What?
Uh-huh. That's what I found on Wikipedia. I thought it was dissection. I don't know what this means, but
Vivisection?
Vivisection.
Okay.
If it was on Wikipedia, it must be right.
It must be real.
So, anyway, they just essentially, like, I don't know, it was kind of strange because it was like, they were almost like, it's more humane to, like, kill them.
Yeah.
Like, some of the people there were like, can we just, like, kill them? And they're like, no, like, we're gonna, like, analyze their, like, gooey stuff. And, like, I don't know. It was weird.
And
they're all in white.
Yes, they are all in white, which makes them even more alien-like.
I love the aesthetic.
So Jack and Alex are being taken back down from Witch Mountain.
Oh, I love this scene.
And they're like in the back seat, and the feds are driving the car, and she's like, I can't believe you just gave up the kids so easily. Mm-hmm. Like, how how could you, whatever. And he's like, yeah, like, I can't go back to jail. It's not my thing. And then, like, he starts punching people. And
well, no, first she slaps him to, like, distract, and then he goes in and starts hitting all the guys.
And throws out the FBI guys, and then they turn around, and they're going back to save the kids.
Hey-yo. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I'm often. So they are able to get, like, back to Witch Mountain and, like, into the facility or whatever because the siphon.
Mm-hmm. Siphon, yeah.
Thank you. It's spelled siphon, and I'm getting confused. The siphon, like, distracts?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
So they, like, get into the mountain through, like, some kind of tunnel.
Yes.
And it's like an exhaust pipe, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, and they're, like, climbing and stuff.
But they're able to retrieve the kids because the assassin is also trying to get the kids.
Yeah.
And, like, breaks in
and basically takes out all the soldiers,
yes,
right?
they, like, divert their resources to the assassin.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah.
So they, Jack and Alex, rescue the kids, get them out of there, yoink them out of there, and then they go and find the spaceship.
Woohoo!
And they attach their funky little device onto it.
Yes.
And they get it all rebooted and ready to go.
Yes.
And then what happens, Maggie?
And then, just as they're entering the ship, Henry Burke, who's the lead FBI guy in charge of the whole, like, alien plan.
I was wondering what that name was in your notes.
Yeah. Henry Burke and his men pull up with their guns.
Yeah.
And they're
guns
like,
a-blazing.
And they're like, we'll shoot you if you get on the spaceship. And they're like, we're gonna get on the spaceship. And so then they all join hands as if to be like,
magical powers.
We're gonna die together. And then Seth's magic power, his alien power,
his molecular density,
he's able to
make them all, like, super hard and solid.
He, like, projects it to everybody.
Yeah.
So the bullets, when they start shooting,
they just
bounce
ricochet
right off.
And can I just say, these bullets, they were giving original Star Wars. They were like, these were
a lot of the
really
effects
bad.
in this. A lot of the effects in this were giving original Star Wars for me.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the only one I noticed. I was like, they were painted on.
At least
that was bad.
Like, the explosion, the fire that came up from the exhaust pipe, that was giving original Star Wars. Okay. And then the any of the, like,
there's not a lot of special effects.
What is it?
It's mostly just fires.
What's his name? Siphon. He had like a space gun, and it was like shooting like lasers and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
It was like
yeah, it's like just early 2000s animation is just like kind of cringe.
Yes, it was kind of. It's kind of like endearing though. Something about it is a little endearing.
It's just
to
cartoony.
Me. Yes.
It like just takes me out of it. That's the thing.
Okay. For me in the Star Wars, it's more like. It's kind of a vibe.
No, in Star Wars, it's Star Wars.
It's kind of a vibe, yeah.
That makes sense. Because Star Wars is camp, you know?
It is camp,
yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, oh my god, and I don't remember how all the rest of.
So
how do they get rid of the shooter people? Oh, Siphon shows up. Yeah, and starts shooting at everyone. Yeah. Siphon's just doing their job at this point.
I think that's why there are so many bad guys.
Yeah.
Like they would not be able to defeat Siphon if it was just like one-on-one, but since there are like other things,
yes,
I think it works. Yeah. And so they have their final battle, Siphon and the kids, on the ship.
Yes, so they've escaped the lab, but Siphon somehow made it onto the ship.
Of course. And his like mask comes off, and he's like,
he's so ugly.
Red Skull.
Oh my god, yeah. In Captain
Marvel,
America, yeah. He looks hideous. Oh my god, he's like an actual, like what an actual alien
would look
stereotype,
like.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
what are aliens supposed to look like?
They're supposed to be gross and fleshy
green
and big head.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jack throws Siphon into the like power source of the UFO. It's a very like classical looking UFO that's like just like a demisphere. Hemisphere?
Demisphere. I love a demisphere. The demisphere below?
The demisphere hidden below? Oh my god, what even is a demisphere? I don't know.
It's just a partial hemisphere.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay, got it. Having defeated all the villains, go to drop off Jack and
they must
Alex.
say goodbye.
Time
it's
to
very
say bye.
sad.
It's E.T. It's like a little E.T. like,
we'll always be able to find you, is what Sarah says.
And they give them this, like, the gadget that they've been carrying around the whole time. And Junkyard gets to stay with Jack and Alex, which is super cute. I liked that. But the kids make their way back to their planet to save everyone.
And they leave to go fight their own battles.
They zoom away in the spaceship.
They leave to go to friggin' the Hunger Games.
Yes, they do. And Kato dies.
And then Kato dies, but Sarah also probably dies.
Probably everyone dies.
Everyone dies but Katniss.
Yep. Did you watch the end credits?
I did.
Did you see that there was
write a book?
Yeah, they wrote a book to be like, we thought that we'd be less likely to disappear if we came out with this story immediately.
Oh, I didn't remember they said that.
Yeah, they were like...
But, I was thinking about this movie, now that we've reached the end.
Right.
I always like to just be like, what is the greater meaning?
What is the greater meaning? And it's not going to the Hunger Games.
It's not going to the Hunger Games.
Okay.
But I was thinking...
So we took different meanings from this, clearly.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. Sometimes that happens. But I was like... Because I just get my little allegory hat on. Okay. And I'm going, what is this an allegory of? And I think this is all about immigration in the U.S.,
I think this is about immigration.
I think it is.
Explain.
Because they are so anti-alien.
Yes.
They are, like, so anti-alien.
Yes, they are.
They are all go back where you came from, build a wall, all that.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's a very easy parallel to make.
That's true.
That's fair. But, like, because of the heavy emphasis on, like, government stuff and government projects in this movie, I was like, oh, like, they just hate people that are from a different place. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is what it is.
You know what? That's fair.
So
that's fair. If aliens ever come to this planet, I would be nice to them.
Yeah, why not?
As long as they're nice to us.
Yeah.
I'd be nice to them. I'd take a...
If they were like these aliens?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'd take care of an alien baby or like an alien dog. That'd be cool.
Oh my god, an alien dog.
Yeah.
That would be so sick.
It's like 3 eyes or something.
Oh my god, I was also picturing that. That's so funny. I think I have this hive mind.
We do have, like, really bad hive mind. And this whole time I was thinking of, do you watch The Simpsons?
No.
Okay, there's this episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns, like, thinks that he's an alien, or, like people think that Mr. Burns is a ghost, and he's, like, walking around outside in a nightgown, and he looks like an alien because he's, like, so pale that he's glowing. It's the funniest, like... I'm going to post a picture of it on the Instagram because that's what I was picturing this
Are you
going to
say you're going to post a picture and then not post it, or are you actually going to post it?
I'm actually going to post it. Stop. I posted. I posted all the Instagram pictures. Okay, so what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts, I think this is a great movie to, like, have on in the background on, like, a cozy, rainy day.
Yeah, I thought this was a really fun, like, I was way more engaged than I thought I would be in this movie.
Lasting impact.
Yeah.
So, had mixed reviews from the critics. The people on Rotten Tomatoes gave it, like, a 46.
I did see that, yeah.
Something like that.
But we don't trust them. We come up with our own opinions here on Childhood Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did make a lot in the box office.
That's actually insane. $106 million in the box office.
Which was, like, double their budget.
Yeah.
And then it also was the first Disney film in 2009 to open at number 1.
Congrats to them.
So go them.
Must have been popular.
Yeah.
Maybe my parents didn't want me to see it because it was, like, had bad reviews. My parents did do that.
As a kid?
Yes. Like, That's
so funny.
They saw that movies had bad reviews, so they didn't take me to them.
My parents did that to me as, like, a teen and, like, now.
Yeah.
But not as a kid.
You know what? But that was a fun movie.
It was fun.
And, The Rock...
I love The Rock.
...has done a series of movies, like, just like that.
Like, yeah, well, he literally did the game plan right before this.
Yeah, and then, like, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Which, did you watch?
Is he in Jumanji?
Yes.
Okay, Jumanji.
Jumanji, and then what are the, like, other ones that he's done? Like, Jungle Cruise?
Jungle Cruise?
He's done, like, a whole bunch of movies where he's, like, the, like, adventurer
Explorer.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
but I like this one specifically because he's, like, taking care of the kids.
Yeah, I agree.
Really like that.
I agree.
So, final rating. Maggie, what would you give it?
I think this is a nostalgic.
I think so, too.
This is a good one.
It's cozy. I wouldn't, like, I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
Like, I wouldn't give it 5 stars.
Oh, no.
But like I said, I think it would be nice to have on, like, in the background. I think it's, like, a nice, like, what is it, like, setting the scene. Like, it's a nice ambiance.
Yes, ambiance movie.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I would put it on if I had, like, friends over and we were just, like, hanging out.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that too.
But not like to watch it, because there's just so many action scenes that can just so be skipped over.
Yeah, I can see this being like a 6-year-old's favorite movie though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the mob in it, and I don't know if you can get that as a 6-year-old.
That's the thing with Disney movies. Like, they've got more
layers.
than you think. Yeah.
So, next up on the docket, what do we have going on, Maggie?
I'm so excited to announce that the next episode we will be doing Lemonade Mouth, and you should all be really excited as well. Following that, though, we will be doing an episode creating a playlist of 2000s music, or specifically from the year 2000.
So if you have any suggestions you want to let us know, our Instagram is in the show notes. And with that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Childhood Trash. You can follow Childhood Trash Pod on Instagram.
You can follow Pia at Pia La Placa.
And you can follow Maggie at Maggie and Keating.
We'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.